Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to a brand new video, and today another episode of my F1 2018 career mode. Today we are here for the third from last race of the season for the Mexican Grand Prix. If you guys did miss the last race for the USA Grand Prix, then do check out that race before coming back to this one. There's big spoilers ahead, so do click off now if you want to check out the last episode and watch that race first before arriving back to this one. Now here today we arrive at Mexico. First of all, no rain expected, which is great news for the weekend, and we've also got more upgrades in the car. Unfortunately just the one, and it's actually the minor one. The major one actually fouled on us, which is a little bit annoying and a little bit disappointing, but still that's the way it goes. Ultimately it doesn't really matter anymore now because we've obviously lost, we didn't lose, but Leclerc and Sauber won both championships in the last race, so there's nothing for us to really win in this season except for securing and trying to beat Ferrari and overtake them for second place in the Constructors and become the second best team. So as you can see in the R&D tree, very close there between ourselves, Renault, who are actually improving quite a bit, and Ferrari have dropped down to 4th place now, and Red Bull as well are still there in amongst it. So a very little close kind of secondary pack there behind Sauber, who haven't bought an upgrade for this race. So let's see how it goes. This is one of those tracks that I said in the last episode, it's probably my final strongest track left before the end of the season. Looking at the whole calendar as a whole, we're looking at the last few races, Abu Dhabi isn't a strong track, USA wasn't a good race for me. Even though I got a podium, I just don't have that much pace around there compared to the AI. And Brazil's a bit of a funny one. I'll find out when I get there because I feel like I've found some pace recently because of AOR, and I might be a bit quicker than I think I am, but I still think I'm going to be slower than the AI. As for Mexico though, this is probably my strongest track out of all the remaining ones. I think this is our best chance to try and get the best possible result, and hopefully the upgrades do play their part. We can try and compete here with the Saubers. Obviously we've got that massive straight on, sector 1, and also going to sector 2 on just after the first 3 corners. Those 2 straights are going to be massive for the Sauber team, but then the rest of the track kind of suits our car a lot more. So let's see how it goes, and hopefully we can get straight into business and see if we can try and have a good weekend. Now straight away we're going to go for 3 runs in this session, as we always do. 3 runs on the hypers, and my best one in this qualifying was actually my second run, so we're going to check out the highlights first of all of the first run. And to be fair, it was not a bad lap in itself. I did this happen, I thought to myself, wow, okay, that's pretty good, it's a good benchmark, there's not really much more I can shave off this time. At least that's what it felt like when I crossed the line. Alonso currently set the pace, and we was 3 tenths up through sector 2. We lost a little bit of time in the final sector and ultimately only improved by about a tenth of a second, but we still go P1 and go fastest of anybody in qualifying here on our first run, which is a good benchmark to set and a good reference point. However, the Saubers haven't really set their key lap times yet, but as you can see, Ericsson started to show his teeth for Sauber a little bit. He went 3rd fastest. Leclerc struggling to find that perfect lap early on, but as you can see, we're going to run on board now for this entire lap here, my second and best run in the session. Straight away, turn 1, you're looking at the 50-meter board on the right hand side as a reference, down to 4th gear, and then later on down to 3rd to really try and rotate the car, really attack these curbs on the inside. You want to gain as much time as possible. They're very flat curbs, you can get away with really bouncing over them as we go flat out on the exit, and now racing down towards turn number 4. It's a very left-right kind of chicane section, you could say, and we get a very nice run again, really attacking the curbs. That's what it's all about around the circuit. If you attack the curbs, you've got a good setup to do that, you're going to gain a lot of time. You can see again there through the double apex hairpin, a nice smooth run, good traction as well, which is important around here because this track is very rear tyre limited. As we now go through the swooping S's, we hit these absolutely beautifully, literally the best I could have possibly done them, and we're currently 2 tenths up as we now go into the final sector, braking late, really again attacking that curb there on the inside. It's kind of a blind apex, and now into the baseball stadium, very slow corner here at the hairpin, getting the power smoothly on the exit, and now the final corner is all about patience on the throttle here as the corner kind of opens up for you, and you want to keep it to the right hand side for the shortest run to the line, and we improve by almost 4 tenths, and we go fastest once again, extending our lead, setting a 1:11.0, and a very strong lap there. I was very, very happy with that, and the pace was really, really strong. However, the man himself, Charles Leclerc, turned up, and in between those runs he actually set the fastest lap only by 0.07 of a second. In the meantime, on my final run, I got put off by Ocon here. He had the whole straight with blue flags to move out of the way. The AI are not good at moving around the way, as we already know. They don't really do a good job, and yeah, pretty much Ocon ruined my final run. So as you can see, Leclerc gets poled by the smallest of margins, one of the closest qualifyings we've had in a long, long time, and also Alonso beat Ericsson, so good progress from us today, and just an improvement. You can see in qualifying how much better we were, and the upgrade helping, but also the track in itself. Me and Alonso survived sector 1, which is where the Saubers are strongest, and then over the rest of the lap we make up a lot of time, and it was a really, really decent qualifying. Hopefully though, it's a massive straight towards turn 1. We could could try and get the run on Leclerc tomorrow in the race if we get a good start and hopefully take it from there. But with that being said, let's just jump into the race and let's see how it goes. And fingers crossed we can try and secure one last W before the season ends. With that being said, let's jump into it. It's time for the Mexican Grand Prix.
Are you feeling confident that you can take your qualifying pace into the race? Do you feel that you don't need to practice? Great, well that's everything.
Formula One may have been absent from Mexico for 23 years, but after 2015's triumphant return, it was as if we'd never been away. In Mexico, a Grand Prix is more than just a race. It's a celebration of speed and of bravery. There's nothing quite like the atmosphere in the stadium today. They'll be drowning out the cars with their noise as they make their way through on lap 1. It's a 2.6 mile lap here in Mexico with incredible top speeds of around 220 miles per hour and an average lap speed of 121 miles per hour. 17 corners here, 10 to the right and 7 to the left, with a spectacular view for the sellout crowd from the technical stadium section in the final sector. With me today, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Now, I want to ask you about Charles Leclerc. They've had a fantastic campaign. It's been a wonderful year, and they come into this weekend's Grand Prix as a fully deserving champion.
I agree it's been a truly impressive season, but championship or no, I don't think they'll be gently cruising around to the finish line. In fact, with points no longer a concern, there's a lot less to risk, so we may even see a more aggressive approach.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday puts him on pole, and Martinez completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Alonso, Ericsson, Sebastian Vettel, and Sainz, Perez, Hülkenberg, Hamilton, and Kevin Magnussen, Grosjean, Ocon, Valtteri Bottas, and Verstappen, Hartley, Stroll, Sergei Sirotkin, and Daniel Ricciardo. Raikkonen and Pierre Gasly rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Right, here we are then on the grid for the Mexican Grand Prix. Second place on the grid alongside Charles Leclerc, the world champion. And it's a long race down towards turn 1. Hopefully we can try and get a good launch off the line and then try and get a slipstream and hopefully pass him into the first corner. It's a very, very big opportunity for us to take the lead here today. And I do think we've got some pace. I think Leclerc is still going to be very hard to beat, but we should be a lot closer than we were at USA. In terms of the strategy, the team recommends us Hyper Ultra. I will try and go for that, but I'm not convinced. We'll see how that one goes. Potentially, there might be a super soft in there because rear tyres get a pounding around this circuit. In terms of fuel, 1.5 laps extra and no rain expected. So a pretty straightforward race, and it's all about strategy. The one stop is possible as well around here, so we'll see what happens. Leclerc has to go quite aggressive as well, so it's all kind of up in the air, and I'm curious to see how it all plays out. So the quickest way to do that is by just getting into the race. So with that being said, let's jump into it. It's time for the Mexican Grand Prix. Right, here we go. Let's get ready for the 5 red lights here at Mexico. The lights are on and they are off. And away we go. Good start off the line. Very good start. One of our better ones. Ericsson, though, getting a good start as well. Look at that. Oh my God, he's so fast. We get absolutely powered past here. I'm going to have to go aggressive on the brakes into turn 1. But Ericsson gets the move and Leclerc holds on to the lead, sorry. That's annoying, but the acceleration of the Sauber is just too strong. Look at that. I didn't see that coming. Even with that good start, we've been taken apart, which is a little bit disappointing. But to be expected in a way, the Saubers, with their straight line speed. Let's just hope we can stay with them here today and compete. That's what I'm kind of also relying upon. That'd be great for a change. I think Ericsson, we should be able to get past. That shouldn't be too much of a concern. It's about Leclerc not escaping. But, that was a shame because that was a good start. We actually got away well relative to the 5 lights. But that acceleration that kicked in from Ericsson was just ridiculous. Meanwhile, here we go. We've got a run on Ericsson here through the S's, but again, he just pulls a little bit of acceleration on the exit and stays in front. But we are definitely knocking on the door here. And I thought about it into the hairpin there for a moment, but we're going to have to just sit back. I'm definitely feeling racy though. Car feels good. I want to make the most of it whilst the tyres are still relatively fresh. Ericsson though gets great traction out of the final corner there. It's going to open up a massive gap going onto the pit straight, which is a little bit annoying. Alonso also, I've noticed, has had a poor start. He's dropped down to P5 after starting from 3rd place, so that's disappointing. Let's try and get past Ericsson though on this lap, even before DRS, and try and not let Leclerc have a very straightforward race here today and try and cause some problems if possible. First track extension on the Grand Prix, but that's fine. We can get away with that. That's not a problem. We actually tap the back of Ericsson there a little bit into the hairpin. Let's try and get a good exit this time. We won't have DRS on the pit straight, but hopefully, I think I'm close enough to potentially have a run on Ericsson here. DRS is now enabled, and yes, we are close enough here. We're gaining on the Sauber. We're going to pull to the inside. Very late on the brakes, but we are going to get it done quite nicely. A little bit of a squirmy rear end there, but we get the job done. Ericsson, no DRS, but he's coming back at me here at the straight line speed of that Sauber. He's going to try and go around the outside. Inside line from him, we're going to squeeze him off and make that stick. There we go. Back into 2nd place. And now we're going into the middle sector, which is my strongest sector on the entire circuit. So let's try and open up a gap here. Ericsson and try and shake him off and go after Leclerc now. Very strong end to the lap. Personal best 14.6. We open up a massive gap to Ericsson, 1.5 seconds. Literally a flawless ending. And now we can try and chase after Leclerc. We've got no distractions from behind, so it's literally just full speed ahead now and try and catch up to the other Sauber. Can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm faster than Charles Leclerc. We've got more pace than him, which is positive, so we're looking good. We match our personal best, and we're around 3 to 4 tenths faster a lap, so that's good. Let's try and keep that going. Alright, well, for the last few laps now, the gap's kind of stayed the same, although that lap, to be fair, that final sector from Leclerc was pretty good. And the Hyper's just starting to lose a bit of performance as we enter a yellow flag zone here, but the Hyper's just losing a little bit of their edge. But we're still okay, you know, they're still holding on, and we're going to get to lap 9. The good thing is we haven't let Leclerc escape, and he's still within our range, so that's all I needed. Now Leclerc, you know, is visually there, we can race him here today as Stroll retires for the 2nd race in succession. And yeah, we're just going to keep on pushing, keep this consistent pace, try and get to the pit stop phase, and then basically it's going to come down to the strategy then between myself and Leclerc. Right, here we go then, into the baseball stadium. Lap 9, scheduled pit stop lap. I'm expecting Leclerc pit in, but he's going to go for the Hypers again, that's my guess. He's going to go a bit more aggressive than me, but he can seem to do that with his tyres. I can't seem to do that. So here we go, into the pit lane. Leclerc does come in, as I expected. We're going to slow it down, there we go. Decent pit entry. And looks like we're not going to be with no interference. It should be a pretty empty pit lane for me and Leclerc. And it's going to be a battle at the pit stops. Let's see, hopefully it's a bit of a slower one, even if it's just by half a second or something. Either way, here we go, onto the jack. Nice quick stop from the boys, 2.1, that's what I'm talking about. Leclerc goes for ultras, so on paper it's looking like the same strategy here so far. Good thing is Leclerc's going to feed out in a little bit of traffic as we get up to speed. We've got Raikkonen here for company. He's on the ultra softs. He started way behind, way back. So we're going to re-jump behind Kimi, which is a little bit more of a delay and a bit more of a distraction for me. Let's try and switch these ultras on straight away. Maybe get some cheeky DRS here. Will we have DRS here? No, we don't. Okay, so we have to get it done on track. I should have enough juice on the straight to power past Raikkonen here. We go to the inside. Fresh tyres, Kimi locks up. There we go. Job done. Very simple move. And Leclerc's going to be in traffic now for the entire middle sector here, which is good. So we need a big sector here just to close up the gap a little bit. Okay, we've got cars in the pit lane. We're going to retake a load of positions. The ultras are feeling great. Ericsson's going to come out a little bit of traffic as well, which is good. And Leclerc's now got past all of his traffic. So we now begin to close down the gap here to Kevin Magnussen. Didn't get DRS on the pit straight, but that's not a problem. We should hopefully be within range this lap to make a pass. I want to try and get past him straight away and waste no time. I don't want him to be in front of me in that middle sector, if possible. So I'm going to be aggressive and try and set him up for a move. Not really through just yet. I'm trying to find the angles and the options here as we go into the S's. This is going to be the one. Around the outside, which becomes the inside for the next one. There we go. Lovely move. No major time lost. Up next is teammate Roman Grosjean. Right, now we've got to get past Ocon, who's been passed by Grosjean. So let's do that right now. Hot on the brakes there a little bit. Ocon's going to switch back underneath, but we are going to find the traction and make a very simple pass. And now it's the other Haas of Roman Grosjean, who we're also going to catch up in the S's. Going to try and set up a good S exit. There we go. Oh, Grosjean giving me a good old squeeze there. It's going to be a drag race. Wow, Damn, Grosjean parked his car there. Can't make his mind up whether he's going inside or outside into the hairpin. We're going to have to just sit behind, hopefully pick up some DRS on the pit straight and power past. So here we go, focus on our exit, there it is. Nice clean traction, and this should be a foregone conclusion here. For once we can enjoy our own straight line speed instead of being suffocated by the Saubers. Here we go, powering up, flying past 350 Ks, thank you very much. And to be fair, that Haas is doing pretty well on the straight, but we are going to get past first time on the straight, and job done. Back up into second place. Now, can we catch up to Leclerc? Do we have pace? Let's find out. Personal best, but the gap's gone all the way up to 6.6 seconds. That's how much we lost out in the pit stop phase. Just generally speaking, the AI on this game when it comes to pit stop phases, they're just too strong, and it's impossible to actually gain time on them. And I've found out, you know, over the amount of races I've done, you will not undercut or overcut an AI car. You know, maybe an overcut if they get stacked up in the pit lane, they lose time, yeah. But an undercut is impossible, and you know, matching them also you're going to lose as well. At the minute, I've got no pace. It seems. Although I say that Ericsson is on the hyper soft, so to be fair, that kind of explains it. But I definitely don't have great pace on these. Although they do feel good, the car feels good, but it's not reflecting in pace. Let's try and keep Ericsson behind though. He's on the hyper, so he's going to be on me pretty soon, unless we can keep the gap until his hyper starts to just wear out a little bit. Bit of a strong lap there, 14.7. We just extend the gap over to Ericsson. I've saved up a little bit of fuel in the RS, so I can now start redeploying a little bit and keeping him out of DRS, which is what I want. Another 14.8 there, another strong lap. We extend the gap to Ericsson to 2.4. Seems like his hypers are just starting to fade away.
Some information on Vettel. They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
So Sebastian Vettel with car trouble. Again, I was kind of hoping it might have been Charles Leclerc, but oh well, just the way it goes, I'm afraid. I'm expecting Ericsson to pit in this lap potentially, and I think he has. There you go. So Ericsson comes in. He's off the hypers, so he's going to go into ultras now. And we're going to come in this lap along with Charles Leclerc, most presumably. So let's bring this one home and let's get on to that final stint. Alright, here we go, into the stadium section now. Through the final corner and into the pit lane. Luckily we didn't get held up there by the traffic of Sorokin. As we hit the pit lane, there we go, get the speed limit on pretty safely. As Leclerc serves his final stop of the race onto another set of ultras, and we're going to follow suit by doing the exact same thing. And pretty much we're going to try our best to solidify second place here. Hopefully Ericsson doesn't undercut me, which is going to be the threat. He's obviously going to be on an outlap on fresh tyres, so he will be quick. Will he be quick enough? Let's find out. It's going to be close, I think, because we know how fast those Saubers can be up to speed. And here comes Ericsson. He's getting a bit on us, but I don't think it's going to be enough. We should still have a nice gap. And there you go, there's Ericsson. Just outside of a second, I want to say, so that's crucial. Let's try and keep him there as well. Hope he doesn't get any more time. And this time, with the fresh tyres, he shouldn't be as fast as the last stint, because the last stint he was on hypersofts and now he's on ultras, so it should be a little bit more fairly shared when it comes to overall pace. So let's try and open up a gap here and stay in front of the Swede. Alonso pits in. He's going to probably resume into the race in P4 once he rejoins, so that should be fine. We've also kept over a 1 second gap to Ericsson. We had a very strong and actual purple middle sector, so strong pace. Now we get to enjoy these fresh tyres and put them to use in the remaining laps of this Grand Prix. I'm sorry it's not been the most entertaining race, but they're not all going to be 5-star races, unfortunately. You're going to have those races which are just a little bit more boring. So yeah, hopefully, you know something can happen, but I'm kind of hoping it's with Leclerc, not Ericsson. There we go, purple lap. I'm surprised that Leclerc didn't actually go fastest on that lap. He must have had some traffic. 13.6. Encouraging signs. We'll also open up a very nice gap to Ericsson already behind us, so that's also very good to see. Okay, strong laps. Gap to Ericsson 4.4. So we've now covered ourselves in case, you know, the inevitable happens and the Saubers do start to go on a bit of a pace charge at the end of the Grand Prix. I've used up all my average mix, and I'm going to go into standard and baseline engine modes now for a few laps and basically just run around the track and then prepare myself for the last few laps in case Ericsson does turn on the afterburners and we have to respond. But for now, we've done our job here. It looks like P2 is pretty much in the bag. Oh, Sergio Perez is out. The home hero, the home favourite, is out of the race as we lose the back end with just like Bottas, and quite ironic really, you know, we're lapping Mercedes cars. Ericsson is picking up the pace here. He's getting close to me towards the end of the race, but I think it shouldn't be a threat, and we should be okay to stay in front of him, although he's getting a hell of a lot on that straight, but I think we should be okay. Bring this one home and try and secure the second place, as I expected. Ericsson giving it a late push, and he's going to be a threat, but he's only got this straight to do it, and I don't think he's got enough of a straight. Or has he? Oh my god, he has. He's coming at me quick here. Jeez, that's Sauber. Luckily their flag zone kind of got me out of trouble, but there we go, we survived, and now we should be okay. There we have it, Charles Leclerc wins the Mexican Grand Prix yet again, another 25 points for the Monegasque driver. We're coming through the stadium now, confetti in the air as we come through for a second place once again. Another podium, doing our best as always to try and cause havoc with the Saubers, and this was the best we could do here today. Leclerc was just a bit too quick, and not much we could have done really, just the way it goes. Hopefully we can try again in Brazil, but I think it's going to be tricky to beat Leclerc.
A great win then for the Sauber team today. And I have to wonder, Anthony Davidson, just what set them apart from the competition here.
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
So, here they come out now onto the podium after a thrilling Grand Prix. It just goes to show what a strong position the sport is in, that these independent teams can be so competitive. What a superb victory from the Sauber team.
Right, so looking at the final race results, Charles Leclerc dominates the Mexican Grand Prix, 19 seconds clear of myself and Marcus Ericsson. Then Fernando Alonso P4, and then there's 52 seconds to Romain Grosjean in P5. So you kind of see it's Sauber first, then quite clearly McLaren, and then it's a long way back for the midfield pretty much. Grosjean 5th, good result for him, Ricciardo 6th, Hulkenberg 7th, Raikkonen 8th, Kevin Magnussen 9th, and Esteban Ocon 10th. Sebastian Vettel with car issues ultimately finishing outside the points. And then we've also got Sainz, Verstappen, Gasly, Hamilton, Hartley, Bottas, Sirotkin all finishing a lap down / at the points, and Perez and Stroll retiring from the Grand Prix. Now, in terms of what the race means for the championships, obviously the drivers is all pretty much decided. Ericsson does get 3rd place as Alonso opens up a gap to Hulkenberg. And Alonso, like I said in the last episode, maybe a late season charge towards Max Verstappen potentially there for P7. And in terms of the constructors, we close the gap to Ferrari, and we are now only 5 points behind with 2 races to go. So it's looking good for us so far, and we're going to put some more upgrades in the car right now as we delve into the laptop. So let's get into it.
You must be happy with the result today. Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing. Great! Well, that's everything.
Okay, so here we are then on the R&D tree, and points-wise, we don't have that many saved up. We have 990 points. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just buy one simple upgrade, and it's the one that we should have had for this race, but failed, which is a major aerodynamic one for the rear downforce. And that's going to give us a big push and really close up the Sauber there on the R&D screen. But we've got 496. I don't have enough points to get any. This is the cheapest one available, which is 517, and we fall just short of that. So we're going to call it a day there for the upgrades, and I'm going to try and put some more on after Brazil. And that's going to be it with McLaren for this season, guys. And hopefully we can try and set them up for next year. And we'll be nice and close to Sauber, hopefully, going into season number 7, I think. Yeah, I'm losing count now. But nonetheless, guys, hopefully you did enjoy this episode of Career Mode. If you did enjoy it, then please do drop a like on the video. Also, get subscribed for daily Formula 1 content and turn on notifications so don't miss a single video from me. Finally, check out these 2 videos on your screen if you have missed them. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next episode very soon. But until then, it's goodbye from me.